everybody. Sorry about that at the beginning. But yeah, you can see what the topic of this video is. It's basically my thoughts on the whole replacement refs deal. And I can be honest with you. The NFL needs to work something out soon with the regular officials, or else this is going to be one controversial season. You know, the refs, from what I have seen and have heard, have blown call after call after call, have made the unnecessary calls, thrown unnecessary flags, made some unnecessary decisions that didn't need to be made. And it's all because these guys don't know the fucking rules. I mean, if you're going to bring in replacement officials, train them in the way that they should be trained. Teach them the rules. Don't just think, don't think and assume, these people are going to know the rules because they're officials anyway. They're not going to know the rules. And when you think about it, a lot of games should be decided just by the players and the teams on the field, not by the damn officials' decisions. I mean, yesterday they were talking about last night's NBC Sunday night game between the Patriots and the Ravens. I saw the replay of the final kick of the game, and I agree. That kick should have been put under review, but it wasn't. And you know why? Because the officials didn't want to do it. And when Bill Belichick tried to get the official and tell him, it doesn't matter if it's noisy. He was trying to touch him, and yeah, you should. And look, I understand there are rules about touching an official. Okay, I get that. But here's the thing. He was trying to get the ref's attention. And the referee just didn't, he knew he touched him, but he didn't want to, confront him or anything. He didn't want to hear him out. He just kept on running. He's like, whatever, just running on. Which tells me that replacement official is one of two things. Now, you might say I'm crazy for saying this, but I think some of these replacement officials, probably like some last night in that Patriots-Ravens game, are biased towards certain teams. Not just biased, but probably are also fans of certain teams. Think about it. We complain all the time that certain referees and officials screw up, screw up calls, and that's the regular. That's the appointed and regular officials and referees and umpires, or whatever you want to call them. Sometimes we admit that they blow certain calls, and they even come out most of the time and they will admit it. I know it's hard to believe, but they do. But these guys haven't even come out yet. Not once have I heard one replacement official come out and say, yeah, we blew a call, we did this, we did that, it's all fault, blame us. They haven't come out once. Not once to take the blame. And why? Because I think the bias towards certain teams and maybe the fans of certain teams. Think about it. Maybe that referee that head referee that didn't want to talk to Belichick or anything and probably should have had the call reviewed or had that field goal reviewed, maybe he's a Steelers fan or maybe he's a Ravens fan and thinks, okay, field goal good. And he's running off maybe and thinking to himself, good, I got the Patriots back for beating the Ravens last year in the AFC Championship. It's like, come on, if that's your motive, don't referee the game. And I'm not saying that's probably what he thinks, but come on. It's like certain outcomes for certain teams who seem to be on the verge of either making a comeback and possibly winning, or some teams that look like they got the momentum to win, seem to get screwed out all because of the officials' decisions. And it's not because I don't think the officials don't know the rules, because apparently they don't. I think obviously it's because they're biased and they show favoritism. Everybody knows that. I'm sure anybody watching this video will agree. I mean, yesterday morning, even though I was in church, I watched a little bit of the game before I left, kept tabs on it, put it on the screen over in the building we were renting out for church, where we're cleaning up. Watched it there, watched the rest when I got home, and what I saw basically were refs blowing damn calls. And basically basically, and it's not because I'm a 49er fan. I wouldn't mind if the Vikings won anyway, if it would have been done right, with the right calls and everything. I wouldn't have minded. But because of these damn referees, the Niners are another team that got basically screwed. And you know what? I know you Minnesota fans will think, oh, you're just whining and crying and bitching that they lost. No, I'm not. I'd be saying the same thing about them doing it to your team. And I'm pretty sure it's already been done. I mean, I don't know exactly what it's going to take to get the official referees back on that field. I don't know what it's going to fucking take. But the thing is, myself, my brother-in-laws, and anybody that's a fan in my family of football, 49ers, Raiders, doesn't matter, Chiefs, they are going to be royally pissed if these officials keep messing their teams up. I mean, what is it going to take? Is it going to take the NFL saying, okay, officials, what do you want? What's it going to take for you to get back on the field? Oh, well, we want this. We want more money, which is one, obviously. But we want decisions. Like, one, when we make a call, it stays called. No reviews, no booth reviews, blah, blah, blah. We want this, we want that. Look, I get that the referees want something more out of this. But if they don't come to a damn agreement soon, this season's going to be one of the most controversial seasons in NFL history. And I'm not just saying that because some might say I'm overreacting. I'm saying that because from what I've seen, from what I've heard, it's a damn fact. And I think everybody pretty much knows it. Everybody watching this video knows it. Anybody that watches NFL Network, ESPN, they know it. Any of the coaches of those NFL teams, they know it. Any of the people on NFL Network and ESPN, CBS, Fox, NBC, they know it. They know that if they don't get the regular officials back on that field, they don't get them, this season's going to go down as the most controversial in history. And I'm going to call it, and I'm saying it right now, I'm calling it right now. I think some of these damn replacement officials, call me crazy, call me overreacting, acting and everything. But you know what? I think some of these damn officials, like I said at the beginning, are biased mother effers. That's all I'm going to say. They're biased mother effers. And they're probably fans of certain teams. It's like I said about that referee. You think he would have had the courtesy to talk to Bill Belichick and say, look, maybe I made a mistake. I didn't see that. Let me go watch the video. He didn't even do that. He just ran off like, yeah, whatever. It's like take the time out to talk to the coach when he wants to talk to you about a play that he finds questionable. Don't just run off. That's why it tells me maybe he's a fan of the Ravens. Maybe he's thinking to himself, yeah, I just helped my team beat the Patriots. It shows them who should have been in the Super Bowl last year. It's like, dude. Take the time out to talk to the coach. I'm hoping whatever happens tonight, Packers, Seahawks, we don't get the same kind of screw-ups. But you know what? With the recent happenings over the past few weeks, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised that we get the same fucking screw-ups that we've been getting over the past few weeks. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, the point I'm trying to make is whatever is going on right now between the NFL and the official referees needs to get settled, or else we're going to have a very controversial season on our hands. Probably the most controversial in NFL history. They got to figure something out. Do you honestly want to be sitting at home on the first Sunday of February next year, watching the Super Bowl and watching it become the most fucked up, screwed up, and controversial Super Bowl in history? I sure as heck wouldn't want to deal with that. I mean, yeah, I'll record it, but I sure wouldn't want to have to look back on it and say, yeah, that should have been called. That should have been called. Hey, they messed up there. Do you honestly want to deal with that? No. Do you want to deal with that going into the playoffs in January, at the beginning of January? No. You want to have things settled. You want these guys, just like anybody else, we need these replacement officials gone. If they don't know the rules, don't bring them in. And you know what? Furthermore, if for some reason they might be, I don't know, let's say biased or showing favoritism because maybe the fans, I say do a damn background check before you bring them in. Teach them the rules, but also do a damn background check beforehand. Make sure they're not a fan. Make sure they don't have no biasness against any teams. Make sure they don't show no favoritism because they're fans of other teams. Because I think that's sometimes how these certain calls are being made. And again, if they don't know the fucking rules, guess what? Don't bring them in. Don't bring them in. That's all I'm saying. I just hope that within the next few weeks, 5, 6, 4, 3 weeks, we get something settled, get these replacement officials gone, and get back to real, straight down the middle football. That's all I'm asking. So, but that's my thoughts. And it says right there, NFL's replacement officials got to go. And that's all I'm going to say.